Good afternoon and welcome to your ever fresh, illuminating, enlightening, educative current affairs program, 60 Minutes Nigeria. My name is Egosa Agbonlao. On today's show, we'll be dissecting all that transpired in terms of the Christmas festivities and as we look forward to the New Year festivities. We understand that the burden of price, the burden of inflation affected households, families, and of course, Nigerians, must celebrate. They still needed to celebrate, and they celebrate. And they were able to celebrate rather, but with the burden of hike in price of food items associated with the celebration of Christmas. We're talking about rice, bag of rice. We're talking about vegetable oil. We're talking about chicken, goat, cow, ram, as the case may be. How did Nigerians actually cope with Christmas celebration? The Christmas holiday is over. The workers are back. The government workers are back. The private sector has bounced back. But the tale of woes, the pains of hike in the prices of food items, of goods and services within the Christmas period, within the Yuletide, is still generating reactions. Well, I have with me today very, very distinguished personalities. I have with me Dr. Elvis Agbonaima, who is a clergyman, a leader of congregation, and most of you don't know, is a man that is also in the media sector, promoting a lot of things that has to do with families, entertainment, and all of that. And that made him to win an award from Nollywood recently. Dr. Elvis Agbonaima, nice to have you on the program.
Thanks,
and congratulations on your recent award.
Thank you very much.
60 Minutes Nigeria, we are proud of you.
Thank you very much.
And we also want to introduce...
God bless you.
Thank you. We also want to introduce a regular face of the program. He is a man we respect so much, a distinguished legal practitioner, a notary public of Nigeria, a chartered arbitrator and mediator, a civil and human rights activist, and of course the Edo State chairman, Nigerian Society of International Law, and only recently an awardee from a very notable organization for his outstanding practice in law and as a defender of the oppressed. So, we introduce to you Barrister Patrick Isekwene. Nice to have you today.
Also I'm happy to have you, happy to be here.
Yes.
And to be out there, happy V.
And we are glad that you got an award. They say you are the defender of the oppressed. So, with the Christmas festivities, do you think the price body, the hike in price, was an oppression on the citizens of Nigeria? Let's start on that lighter note.
Yes, I don't know the words here to use.
Okay.
To use because we have never seen such a Christmas. Since my birth and as I'm celebrating Christmas,
yes,
this is one of the worst Christmas we have ever heard in the history of Christmas celebration, right from the day of my birth. What I'm trying to say is that most of the time I say public person, I usually play role of issue of for the Christmas, chicken, rice, normal because you can get them easily.
Yes, they are affordable.
But this time around, don't go there. Don't even talk about it. When you say rice chicken, you'll be scared because you know the price has gone beyond the reach of the common man. That's why I said it's a very bleak Christmas. It was a local celebration because of the hike in price of foodstuff. It has never been like this. It has never been like this. For now, that is what I can say for now.
Okay, Dr. Elvis, I know you have a lot to say because you lead congregation, and I know there was a time you were distributing chicken. There was one festivity, Christmas celebration, and you did that. Were you able to do that this time? Okay.
By the grace of God,
yes.
I was still able to reach a lot of persons.
Okay.
But the truth of the matter is this: if not that Nigeria is a praying nation, it's just the grace of God that is sustaining us as Nigerians. Because if you go outside and see what is happening, a lot of persons, this Christmas is just the grace of God. Because I will continue to say that it's the grace of God. Yes, I did the best I could, but I would have done more. But because of the hike in prices of goods, I was able to do the one I could do. But I could feel the pain. And that's why if you go to, just to give you an example, you know, some time ago, so many years ago, when you have Christmas like this, there's enough to eat that even to get to a time that you go to many waste bin, you will see a lot of food. I'm very sure if you go to many waste bin now, you will hardly find food, wasted food. People do not even have enough to eat, talk of wasting anyone. And not only that, you know, if you look at what has really happened, you know, I remember when government agency used to like say, firework, you know, stop people from shooting Vanguard, you know. But you look at, you can hardly hear the sound of Vanguard. Who want to go and buy fire when he has not eaten well? You know, it's just the grace of God. But really, like Barrister said, this Christmas was really tough. It was not as usual because, you know, a lot of complaints here and there. It's just the grace. I will continue to say it. It's just by the grace of God. But we thank God for everything.
Okay.
That's why this forthcoming election, every Nigerian must shine their eyes.
Yeah, we'll surely come to that. That's the reason we are actually looking at the cost of celebrating Christmas and, of course, the New Year festivities. Because it is very important. The welfare of Nigerians, the welfare of citizens is sacrosanct. Every government must take care of its citizens. And the inflationary measure this time around has really affected the purchasing power of an average Nigerian, the purchasing power of the downtrodden, purchasing power of the masses. We know that the affluent could cope, but the masses had a lot of issues. Well, my guests have just given their introductory remarks, and they've talked about how the festivities, the cost of celebrating Christmas has been. But let's look at it from this other angle. Is this low-key celebration of Christmas or the effect of inflation, is it peculiar only to Nigeria or is a worldwide thing? Barrister Patrick Isekwene.
Yes, as far as I'm concerned, I believe in truth and justice. I think it's only peculiar to us. It's peculiar in the sense that what we experience, it has to do with human factor. It's man-made. Man-made. I will blame both the government and the citizenry. We are all part of the blame. Like what we talk about issue of welfare by section 14 of our grand law, our constitution made it clear that the primary duty of the government is the security and the welfare of the citizens. Government holds a duty to make sure that the citizens are well taken care of. That's the welfare. It's a constitutional issue. Power, not just a mere talk. It's a constitutional provision. But they have the duty for the welfare of their citizens. That is the primary purpose. That is why government ought not to have taken the issue of their welfare with levity, just like what we experience now. Now the box stop at the on the government, on the president table. Is the president? He shares 50% blame. 50% goes to us with the masses, because if you see what we do because of things, it was all made by man-made. Prices were being at all costs. What is supposed to sell at 3,000, you see one selling 4,000, the one selling 5,000 in the same place. So just man-made. They go to the same market. Just like the issue of fuel, different prices. They're all man-made. This is not the fault of the president. So many things at treasure they just drink on their own. They just increasing price what they want. I just asked one of my electricians that, please, find out the cost of this thing. Let me know how much you like. I can pay you. He says, sir. He says, sir, please, why not just do it yourself? Why not just do it yourself? Because price of things changes every minute, every second. Price of things changes every. If you buy one thing, just about an hour time. If you get the next 30 minutes, price has changed. To tell you that these things are man-made. A lot, not have prices anymore. Not have prices anymore. They add at cost. Nobody checkmates them. That's why I have to bring into government that the government ought to have done something drastic by bringing those who monitor saying price artists are being in the market. I remember when we were growing up, we have those price control people. When they check stuff to stop. And I was small then, but the panic is there about price control. They call the church store artists are being so poor, scared. But this ones, the seller had a free day. But keep on increasing, putting price the way they want. After they say Buhari is not the cause. It's our own cause. We are the causes. We are the cause of the problem, man-made. It's just not just we created it. Adding prices. The rice, you see somebody want to sell rice, one price, 30,000. The one will say it's 32. The one will say 35,000. The same rice, so. This is not Buhari. Chicken the same thing, so they create a problem for people. You could not afford this as a result of man-made, man problem. So if government were taking steps like the federal government and the state government, able to say, checkmate these people, how price, monitor them. Monitor them, this thing could have been like that. That's why I said it's both man-made, but we have to share part of the blame and citizens who keep on increasing price of things arbitrarily. Not the federal government now. It is the duty of the state, because this federalism, we're part of federalism, to check how things are being in the market. Nobody cares. There are issue of price of petroleum product. Nobody cares. So if government were to put something in place to checkmate them, would have had such a hula balloon of power. You know what I mean? Things would have been well taken care of, but now nobody cares. It's unfortunate, it's painful that in spite of the economic growth in this country, Nigeria is still wallowing on the object of poverty. The criminal was a very bad one, like what I said. Those are the price issue. As I speak with you, I'm still yet to execute my Christmas issue. I'm going to execute it. It will be surprising to you. I won't be shy. Yeah. How am I going to spread this thing? So I'm going to take the book by the horn anywhere from now. Because I have never seen such a thing before. Yeah. You have to wait, study, and what to do. That's just the matter. So what I'm trying to say is that we are the cause of the problem, most of us, and the government, federal government, because they have not put anything in place to checkmate this thing. Nobody cares. So things goes on. Let me give you an example. Surprisingly, funny enough, close to my house, the bread they said 650. Man say 650. Oh, yeah, no. Let me just buy from you. He said 800. I said from 650 to 800. So I tried just. He said no, that was just supplied to the very fresh. That was they said. It's 800. When I look at this, I said no. Well, forget about the bread.
Yes.
Let me go to nearby. When I go there, I bought the bread 650.
So
the same bread.
Nigerians could be the problem of Nigeria.
Of course. We are the 50% cause of our problem. It's man-made. That's what Gani said during his time. After that, Nigeria problem is a man-made. We have no business to suffer. It's man-made. I told you from the same place. They say the same. Very minister. They don't say 800, 850. They don't say 650. So that will tell you the mentality of the common man. How price of things are. If government would come and if government would take a kind of drastic action, we will find it this way. I think I've got out of hand. Nothing has to fight control any longer. I cannot continue like this as a nation.
Okay, thank you. Dr. Elvis, now looking at the peculiarity of Nigeria, only recently the federal government has indicated interest in the welfare of workers by making an announcement that from next year the wages of workers will be looked into, will be reviewed upward. So do you think that will be a buffer? That will be the solution to the problem?
Thank you very much, sir.
Okay.
First and foremost, I applaud that, idea, and I pray it comes to pass.
Okay.
But the first thing I want to say is not just all about increasing the welfare, the price, the salary of workers. But the first thing I think the federal government should do, or the state government should do, is what we call price control. A situation whereby, people can just come out with different prices. And, and when they come out with the prices of these commodities, no human face. And, if the government, because some years back, so many years ago, there was a lot of price control. And that's why people cannot just wake up and begin to just put price on goods and services anyhow.
Yes.
There was a control. Now, because even though the welfare package of workers is improved upon, if the price control, that area is not worked on, listen, it will just look like, it will become a shamble of itself. Because when these people discover that, oh, the worker salary just be step up a little bit, the packages, they will still double the prices again.
Okay.
You get it now. For example, now, there are so many goods and services that should have price control.
Okay.
And I've discovered that our major problem is the governors. It's true. It's the governors of many states. For example, now, many of these governors, they will just, when it comes to exercising their authority, they will not make all the masses know that we are the chief executive. But when it comes to doing what will benefit the masses, they will tell you it's the federal government. Because as a chief executive of a state, you are empowered by law, by the constitution, to do so many things. For example, now, as a chief executive of a state, you have the capacity, the authority, you are being backed up by the law to take care of your citizens, or to even control prices of commodities. Yeah. You don't need to wait for federal government. You don't need to wait for the president. Okay. You see, but everybody is hiding under the umbrella. Oh, it's the president, it's the president, it's the president. Meanwhile, when it comes to taking some decision, you will not remember that you are the chief executive of the state. Now, and that's why, like I told you in my opening remark, I said, that's why this forthcoming election, the masses will got to wise up. We need to open our eyes. Because everybody, most of these governors, most of these, there are many of these political leaders, public office holders, because of their position, they don't use their money to buy fuel. They don't use their money to, even to their security at home, is being paid for by your money and my money. You get it now? They don't really feel it. There are some that have been in power for 18 years, for 16 years, for 12 years. Now, even when we are crying that bag of rice is expensive, he doesn't feel it because it's not his money. He gets his allowances. Now, don't be surprised, that even the president of Nigeria, when we are talking about price increase, he doesn't buy garri with his money. He doesn't know, assuming he uses his money to buy 2 bags of yam, he doesn't. All these governors, they don't use their money. The senators, is the tax money, our taxpayer money, and the money, the resources from Nigeria, the allocation that comes to them, there are many of them that are being power. That's why the first thing I'm also praying for is that if a new government enter, there are so many things that they are enjoying, they should remove it. You get it now? Now, a situation where somebody has been in power for 12 years, he has not used his money to go to the market, he has not used his money to send his wife to the market, he has been eating from us. He is not feeling the impact. Yes. That's why even this Christmas now, when people are complaining, it looks like a story, like super story. It looks like fiction to them. It's like it's not real because it's not from their pocket. Okay. Those of us who bring money from our pocket to go to market to take care of people, even when you see a senator or or a governor coming out to share something, he's not stealing his money. If he uses his salary to feed himself, he will put things right. Now, what I'm trying to say in other words is that this forthcoming election, I've said it is the third time. Yes. We must open our eyes. Listen, story is over. We must be factual. We must know what we want now. Because if you look at what has happened now, I have said it countless time on this platform that even those of us, including you, sir, that is working, your take-up cannot take care of you.
You are correct.
We are just living, surviving by grace.
Yes, I agree with you.
And by the grace of God, this nation, Nigeria, we are blessed. We don't have any reason to be hungry. We don't have any reason to be starved. We don't have any reason. Imagine now, where we produce fuel, where we have crude oil, we have everything, and yet to buy fuel, you know what it takes.
Yes,
and we are the one God bless all with this. Most of the things that we are suffering to have today, crying about, God gave it to us. It is mismanagement. It is leadership problem. That's why now this is, for me, I tell people, this forthcoming election is not about party anymore. It is going to be about individual capacity and ability. Because if we take those steps now, like Barrister said, we are still part of the problem. For example, now, any slight opportunity for a bus driver, he just discover something just happened. Before you know, from 100 naira, from Ring Road to maybe Sapler Road, he just triple it. Is it the governor that did that? We are part of our problem. What we are also suffering now is what we call self-inflation.
Thank you very much, Dr. Elvis Agbonaima. We'll take a break now to enable us to introduce our third guest, who is also a youth leader and analyst, but he prefers to be called a farmer. We need to know how the farming sector, the agricultural sector in Nigeria is faring, and how has it impacted on Nigerians. And of course, the celebration we're talking about, how has it affected the prices of food items. I'm talking about Efosa Ato is in the studio. We'll be introducing him after this break. Okay, nice to have you back after the break. Just joining us is Efosa Ato. Efosa Ato, you're welcome. I understand you had some hiccups on your way here, but we're glad that you are here now. We are looking at the cost of Christmas and New Year festivities. My guest, Dr. Elvis Agbonaima, and of course, a notary public in Nigeria, Barrister Patrick Isekwene, they recounted their Christmas experience, and they've told us what they passed through. The hike in prices of food items, of goods and services, is very, very disturbing. Now, you are a farmer, because you are the chairman of the Palm Produce Farm Association. Vis-a-vis, you are also into other farming activities. Why was prices of good items, rice, food normally used during Christmas, why the hike in prices?
Okay, first, let me apologize for coming late.
Okay.
I just left ADP. We are trying to make sure that our experience this year will not spill over to next year, and if that happens, it will be a disaster, and that is why we are trying to put things, because this is the time we prepare the ground for the planting, and we are doing our nursery. The weather is so hot and harsh. They just draw my attention that we need to roof. So personally, I've been sending them 2 days ago, but today I just went myself to make sure we can get those palm to do the roofing. So that was why I came in late. But I'll tell you this. First, the president tried. The hike of rice now, if not the way the president intervened at the first time by saying, let us grow what we eat, the bag of rice would have been up to 100,000 per bag. Now, people are not getting it right. As I'm talking to you now, all oil palm farmers, they've shut down. Why is this? Because there are no workers. My workers, they've all gone back to Nasarawa, to Benue, and nobody is working in the farm.
What about the youths in Edo State?
It's a big problem. The youth in Edo State will tell you, Aigbubo.
What's the meaning of that?
They will tell you the youth does not farm. And when they leave this shore, out of this country, they beg to farm in another man's land. And they will not employ them, because I was a victim. I wanted to work in a farm in abroad. They never employed me. They said I'll wear gloves to pick apple, to pick this. And if they notice I'm a black man, they will not buy. That was then. Now, I will say this. We are trying to see how we can bring in technology, which the governor is doing, but to the smallholder farmers, we pray that it will work. But we are getting ourselves ready to make sure that the younger ones come in, so that food like gari will be cheap, yam will be cheap. Like Edo State is blessed. We produce rice. Some part of Edo State, Ilushi, Ekoma, we have rice. And our rice are good. It's better off than this one they call foreign rice. We have arable land, that we have maize and other things. But these things are not done. We have Guinness, we have breweries here, that we can go into land and bring food. And these things can make this state the food basket, the hub of agricultural products, which the governor, I would say, he has the vision. He had to hire palm, because that is one of the most expensive farming now. And people are coming in from through other areas, but they are not after sustaining it, but they want to see how they can get something out of it. Though I came in late, the problem of food hike is middlemen. Food hike is middlemen. And I will tell you, like the fuel scarcity now.
Please, you must explain that middleman aspect of food hike before you move to another area.
Look at it, like in my cap now, you see all farmers association. This association is not for politicians. This association is for farmers who will come together and rub mind.
Okay, you are not to talk about your association on this program.
Yes.
I must quickly correct you.
Yeah. Now, why I said this is because this is not a union. Because if a poultry farmer wants to buy oil from me, he will get it from the right source and with a cheap price. If I want to buy chicken from him, he gives me the cost of the chicken. Are you getting it? And that is what Nigerians and the Dolites should benefit. But when you go to the regular market, you see union. There are some persons that will say they are chairman of this market, this association. They don't trade, they don't farm it. They will just bring the bulk and give to them. It's just like, for example, cattle. Somebody is in this town. They give him head of cow every minute. Are you getting it? And at that cost of a head of a cow, they will share it for the citizens to pay. This union is good to have an association, but not to regularize or to determine the price. A drum of oil now is about 320, a drum of oil. The women will buy it and sell it almost 380, 400. Who pays the bills? The commoners, the public. Now we are trying to tell the government, let there be a fixed price from cost of production, cost of packaging, and the final sales. Let the marketer, the producer, have a say. You cannot just come
let me quickly interject, because before you joined us, my guest talked about the need for government to regulate prices of goods and food items. Don't you think the market forces, for those of you who understand economics, the market forces are supposed to determine the prices of goods? It's called demand and supply, very elementary economics.
Yes,
demand and supply,
yes.
market forces.
That is what you see what the governor is doing. Opening supermarkets. We have Jara, we have Ford Mart, we have markets.
Don't mention the name of companies here.
All these supermarkets, before this market establishment, we are not there. Before everybody go to a particular street, Lagos Street, to do shopping. But now you have varieties. That is the open market. We are talking about the regulation. The regulation is that when the government comes in, then you have quality control, you have standard, and you have pricing. The government don't want to take their part. Normally, if you take my oil and sell, and you are not able to sell it in so and so time, I'll tell you, bring it back. I'll give you the fresh one. That is what the government should do. If you have Gary and the Gary is getting expired, you cannot dispose it. People use those Gary that has expired to feed animals. They will come to those who produce it and say, do you have those ones that are condemned for our animals? Okay. But this is how the government can work with the farmers. I'm so clear about this. Farmers can be a politician, but not to politicize the product and putting it on a very high benchmark, because we must feed. The cost of feeding now, it affects everybody. They were saying the politicians. Let me tell you, if you see what they are doing now, even when they still have free money allocated to them, we all go to the same market. They have cousins, they have relatives. You go to the market, like a chicken now is about 15,000, 12,000. And I will tell you, the feed, if you say, get some chickens, buy the feed and feed them, you will see the way these birds consume. At the end of it, what is the cost of the bag of feed? Yeah. That is where we want to beg the government, let us see how we can regulate. Now, we don't have enough maize to produce feed Whereas we have horrible land everywhere in Edo. Let us go in there. But when the government said, okay, there is money for we to farm, you will see people coming, I'm a farmer. When they get this money, they don't farm. And that is why this year we are entering now. I'm here today to tell those who want to hear me. The people who collected loan from government, all in the name that they are going to farm, the government should bring their names and let us come and tell them, because most of them have churches, most of them have mosques.
I thought I must interject. Thank you. You continue.
Thank you, yes.
Yeah, but we have to also allow our other guests. Mr. Patrick, I can see you itching to make your comment.
Yeah.
Now, we've seen Christmas. Do you think with what is happening now, Nigerians can cope with the New Year festivities? Because we celebrate a lot in this country, in this part of the world.
Well, I see the same thing happening because.
When you say I see the same thing, how do you mean?
Yes, I mean the scenario we just explained.
Okay.
That I don't want to go back. I need to forward. That's what I'm
yes.
saying. Because lack of patriotism in the part of the citizenry. Like I told you, the road they play arbitrary increase from nowhere just to make their whatever middlemen, whatever you call it. We ought not to have it. It's the creation of they did it artificial to make things become difficult. You know. So, but for me, like my colleague has said, the president does so much. If not, by now rice will have been 100,000 naira a bag. And what I mean that the states today does so much. The rice measured by different rice in different locality. But now is that if we have excess rice everywhere, like what you said, but it's elementary economy that when supply exceeds demand, prices will fall.
That's the elementary economy.
Yeah, he said that everywhere. But I'm not saying the falling is triple.
But when he say that people are not farming, that's what he's saying.
No, but said
he said we have arable land, we have land.
That was a later part. I mean at the starting point.
Yes.
He said their rice, they had their rice. He mentioned the variety of rice.
Yes,
he said that's what I'm saying.
Yes.
I'm thinking from his starting point too.
Yes.
Not the ending now.
Yes.
But ending now was a big departure. Because he said he still had done so much, rice there. That's what I'm asking. That we have not seen any rice. You're saying that's right, but if the rice at what do you call it?
No,
if it's at where they buy rice. No, in Benin here, forest where the mission room. If it's there, they have the same price. What we buy, they don't need to bother. But because the price is very high. That's what I'm saying. The price I'm bringing here is from what I know from Mission Road. The chicken is what we know from the market. Some minutes ago, I told my colleague here that. Yeah, I remember last year this is to use the search chicken of 4,000, 5,000, very big one. People said this year, it's here to answer that question. They want to say,
it's not allowed to.
No, as a farmer.
Let me tell you.
I'm not into help me as a farmer.
Let me tell you. ADP will come back. Let me tell you, I'm not defending the government. By next year, as I'm talking to you now, we are doing nursery in ADP.
Yes.
No, I don't want us to talk for any organization.
Yes, see, let me tell you.
They don't have representative of this program.
Let me tell you.
Yes.
What we are seeing, there is so much that is happening. You cannot see it now, but I will tell you, from what I have seen, and the government of the day should pick the right people and make it. There is no reason for a chicken this year to be more than 5,000.
Are you talking about this year or next year?
No, this year that is ending.
Okay, that's New Year now.
This New Year.
You believe that price of chicken will come down?
Of course, people are not buying. Let me tell you, chicken now. Let me tell you.
Yes.
I visited the chairman poultry. He told me, he said, "Do you know those who bought chicken from us, took chicken to the market to sell? People could not buy.
15,000 naira.
Now they want to drop the price because it's now a threat that if they don't buy, the thing might go it might go the other way. So now it's even cheaper to buy chicken in the market and come to the poultry because they will not sell. I don't know whether you are getting it. It is something that we need to put. As you said, if everybody go, something happened one time. Garri was very high because nobody went into farming. But when everybody started farming, the way the drop of garri crashed.
Price.
Because everybody now have it. If you don't sell, this will sell. But when you don't have this thing, people are demanding. Hotels are springing up every day. The demand for chicken is high. So if you don't buy, this will say, give me 20 bags prepared. So at the end of it all, people are there to consume it. Somebody who will not give you a Coke in his house. When he goes to the club, he spends more money. Then you will now ask, where is this thing coming from? But it's just between us here. It's an attitudinal problem.
Okay. First, I will allow you to talk more, but let's get the thought of Dr. Elvis Agbanama. Do you think the situation will experience any difference in the new year? Do you think Nigerians will be able to cope with the celebration? Because we are used to celebration, really.
First and foremost,
yes.
I want to just chip in on what Comrade Fosa said.
Yes.
Insecurity is also part of the reason why there is hunger in the land.
Insecurity?
Yes, because a lot of persons that used to farm, they couldn't go to their farm because a lot of communities now, they are scared.
Yes.
In some community now, they pay some money to bandit, you know, and that alone has also, you know, scared people. Even in those states where we are sitting here now, there are some communities in those states, you know, to go to farm is a problem. Not because they don't want to go, but because the bush is not secure, the forest is not secure. It's also part of the reason. And again, we also have a major challenge in our society. There's a serious hill in the society. You know, there's a tremendous negative change in our belief system. I remember those days when somebody is a vulcanizer. You are proud of being a vulcanizer, a successful vulcanizer. Now, there's a great change. I don't know how it all started, that if you are farming now, for example, look and see you are a poor person. Now, and that mentality is what is dealing with us now. You know, many years ago, anything you are doing, no matter how little it is, as far you are successful, you are doing that thing well, you have integrity. You know, integrity used to be celebrated, but now nobody cares about integrity. We are now celebrating mediocrity. We are now celebrating, things that ought not to be celebrated. For example, now, if you see a gentleman in all aspects, in all sectors, in all areas of our life, is the problem now. Those days, sir, young people want to go to farm, like Comrade said just now. In Western world, most of our people that are forming big boy here that is not ready to do anything, when they go there, they do Thanksgiving in church that they are doing, they do Thanksgiving in church, they have gotten what? Some of the work they have gotten is just, it's cleaning his house. But yet they will not try to do it. And that is a problem. That's why you discover that today many people don't want to acquire skill. That's why today they just want to make money. I called somebody, I said, listen. I said, there's no future for you. And it's better to say, what did you say? So, Prophet of God, why are you speaking like this? I said, now, imagine you have 20 million now, you don't have brain. I said, you will crash. I said, now, because if you have brain, you have something you are doing, even the opportunity comes, you can be able to maximize it. Now, imagine, for example, now a young boy of 22 years who does not have something reasonable is doing, is driving a car that someone who has worked in an office for 30 years could not buy. And are you getting me? He's already living a life, let me live there. Now, and this thing is affecting. That's why when they see other people doing this thing, look and see if you don't know what you are doing. Integrity is no longer our watchword. We're supposed to be our watchword. Because once, everybody, when you see people then, farming, you go to farm, you want to do things. But now, the society are now celebrating money. It's a major problem.
Not how money is gotten,
yes,
but they just celebrate money.
You get it now? Money.
Before now, we used to celebrate hard work.
When I was more younger,
yes,
if I come home with a fine clothes, I will explain.
How you got it?
I will explain. But now, your son will just come home with, JK. And at the end of the day,
yes,
everybody, I'm not against, I'm a prophet of prosperity, but sometimes we need to talk to ourselves.
Yeah.
You get it now? That's why if you go to most of these hairdressing salons, you will not see girls who want to learn anymore. Even when they are the fashion designer, many of them, they don't believe that they have an office that cannot take them far. You get it now? This is a problem. You now discover that, those who are farming now, when you see farmer now, I'm happy that Comrade always say I'm a farmer. I'm a farmer. But many of them now, they are ashamed to say I'm a farmer. Yeah. Because if you look at, see if they are nobody in society. And this is affecting us. If we can begin to value people for what they do, no matter how little, it will have a way. With that, if the insecurity level aspect can be dealt with by the federal government, by the state government, because it's not just the federal government alone, the state, because as the chief security officer of a state, you have a role to play. You can do a lot. Yes, I know you can do a lot. You might not be able to do Eldorado, but you can do much. Now, and at the end, we too can change our mentality that I can be a vulcanizer and a good one. I am serious with my business. Sir, do you know that many of these vulcanizers, they are even financially buoyant than some people that work in the bank? If you see what they make,
I agree with you.
It's true.
I agree.
But we just look at them, commonize them. There are many of these farmers. If you are really serious as a farmer and you are dedicated to it, you have built capacity, you make money. There is money in it. But now many persons are not into farming. I told you, I said some insecurity aspect have chased them away. It's a problem. And again, the healing in our society, celebrating money is a major problem.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Ebi. Before I allow Toy to continue, I need to quickly highlight what they've said. And this is a big problem in our society, where you see a young man, age 20, 21, below 30, driving a GLK, Mercedes-Benz XUV. Whereas somebody who has worked as a civil servant for 35 years may not be able to buy just a car. Some need to take a loan. But now we're seeing youngsters driving in illusory cars. And we are wondering, where are they getting the money from? People who earn salaries. Sometimes they can't even afford normal transportation with their children. And they are groaning, they are lamenting. And some youngsters are driving in illusory cars and they are being celebrated. I'm happy that Dr. Ebi Sagbonnaima is a clergyman and he has condemned wealth without source. That's what he's saying. You have wealth, but no source. Where are you getting the money from? We know that some persons, they work here, they earn salary. So if they drive any car, it's okay, probably they took a loan. They have a job. But you don't have a job. You sleep from morning till evening. In the evening, you go to a club. You spend money. Where did you get the money from? So that must be condemned. Because Atoya said, no workers in the farm now. That they need youths. And the youths will tell you, me, to come and farm. Because they feel that they will put their hand, the soil will stain them and all of that. Whereas, outside Nigeria, in Italy, in Spain, in the United States, in Germany, in the UK, farmers are billionaires. Because they don't do subsistence farming. Subsistence farming is farming just to feed yourself and your family. They do industrialized farming, large-scale farming. Who says it cannot be done here in Benin City? Who says it cannot be done here in Nigeria? If government tackles the problem of insecurity, our youth can get involved in farming.
And make billions.
And make money. Like Atoy is saying, come and work in the farm. They need youth. Atoy, what's the way forward? We need to, because Nigerians are used to celebrating.
Yes.
Now they are unable to celebrate. Welfare of citizens on the low ebb. How do we revive the economy? How do we bring down prices of goods and services?
Thank you very much. I believe this is the last program for the year. I will say this. We like celebrating. What are we celebrating? Poverty or what? That is not in our culture. We appreciate good things. But now, people now go to microfinance bank to collect loan to do burial, to do marriage, and do other things. Because A, rented an event center, B, kid 5 cow, they did a baby shower, they did this, they did that. I grew up and attended marriage where you see the both family come. Sometimes no canopy, a bench, they will bring drink, cola. Maybe if it's too much, you say, okay, I have to go to the backyard key. They will do panayam. And the marriage today gave birth to some of us that is here. But when we started getting married, we now know that we will do this, we do that. What I have to say.
We'll do what? Say it. We'll hire event hall.
Yes, event hall.
We'll hire event center.
There is an event.
We'll do pre-marriage party.
Let me say this.
Yeah.
This cause of celebration, sometimes it makes the economy lively. but some persons are paying the bills. The classes of hard work, the bourgeois, the middle class, and the low level with those who are really poor have eventually disappeared. All we see in the society, everybody is looking good, but nobody is good.
Thank you. Thank you. Your closing remark, because time is not our friend on the program. Barrister Patrick, a quick one, just one word.
I just expect this is to be patriotic. They should stop increasing prices of things arbitrarily. They always put God first, not that there is God. Because it is the common man that will suffer the hardship. The bourgeois there, we're talking about rice now, I assure you that most politicians, they have over 300 bags in their warehouse. Not even one or two. 300, 400, they have it. It is with the common man that will supply it. They should please be sober. By so doing, they are committing sin. They should abstain from arbitrary increasing price of things so that we can have a good celebration. Now, what we experience now is a very bad tale.
Thank you. Dr. Elvis, just a quick one.
The difference between 2022 and 2023 coming is change. If we don't change, nothing will change. We need to change our attitude, our ways of doing things, our practice, so that we'll see a different result. And I will end to say this in my closing remarks to say that not go kill yourself by yourself, because Christmas not the finish.
Thank you very much. I must commend my guests. They've been very wonderful. Efosa Atoy, thank you very much for your time. Barrister Patrick Sekwene, thank you. Dr. Elvis Agbonaima. And I must say that my production team, led by the producer behind the stage, Lucky, thank you very much. We have a team, we have the engineering crew. This is actually the last episode of 60 Minutes Nigeria for year 2022. So, I wish you a merry, happy new year 2023, when we'll be having our first program, 60 Minutes Nigeria in 2023. We have a different set of guests, and we hope that they will recount something nice, not what has happened for Christmas, where many people could not celebrate. My name is Ego Sagbola. Do have a wonderful new year ahead. Bye-bye.